Hello and welcome to Lower Bitrate, the special PAX South edition. What up?
Hello, welcome. This is a bonus episode.
Yes. This is everything about PAX. And went to PAX this past week. Was the last week?
It was this past weekend. Yep,
Yeah.
hasn't even been a week yet.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive into that, cover everything. If you have not, check out her social media. There's a whole bunch of pictures and stuff.
PAX is an adventure. I took a lot of photos.
It did look like an adventure. There was a lot of cool merch and stuff that I saw.
Lots of cool vendors. I mean, uh, the I was looking to see HyperX there. They normally have a cool booth, and Razer, and even like sometimes Steel Series or Astro was not even there. Uh, None of those companies were there. So instead, there were a lot of tabletop vendors and a lot of like nerd shit, like cool t shirts and socks and lanyards and really cool backpacks, lots of anime stuff. I had a good time looking through the marketplace. I didn't mind. I spent some money. I bought pins.
I bought pins.
I bought pins and a lanyard. I bought a t shirt. Yeah, I went a little nuts.
I love pins. How big is your pin collection?
I try to keep it manageable. I would estimate I probably have 2 dozen pins.
Oh, see, me and you are very different because, like, once I get into something
Mm-hmm.
like Funko Pops, I just somehow end up with 250 of them.
Yeah, I've kept my Funko collection to under 10, definitely.
That's a little hard for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so PAX is. You mentioned something about Steel Series and all those people. Didn't you buy your Astros from PAX a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago?
Yeah, I did several packs. My very first PAX, which was 2016, I bought my Astros there because they had a good deal on the floor. So PAX really has shrunk in how big it is. It's funny to say, but it's I don't mind a smaller convention. You know, I have a great time at Classic Games Fest in Austin, or what else? I mean, just games that are not as not as large as say a PAX West or something. It's a convention you can do in one day, and it feels like you see the same faces all the time.
Hmm. So my initial thought, right, is most of the companies that have like peripherals and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
besides Razer, because they have a some new products or whatever that are catching up with Logitech's like wireless mouse game. Uh, Nobody really has anything. It's just kind of like this stagnant like market of like things that people already own. So
Yeah.
I could see why they would skip PAX South.
Last year, Elgato was there though, so I'm a little bit surprised they weren't there because you know Mixer was there, Twitch was not. So there's still opportunities for them to sell streaming equipment to streamers at premium prices. You know, you don't have to mark down the like key lights or I don't know, your stream decks, things like that. Like things streamers would buy. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that they weren't there.
The thing about a lot of people don't realize about Elgato now is they were purchased by Corsair.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think they're like independent and can go anywhere now. They're kind of like tied to where Corsair goes, which
Mm-hmm.
is like the big like tech conventions. Um,
Yeah.
that's a little weird though that they would skip. PAX is, you can consider it like a streamer event, right? There's a lot of streamers that go. It's like very stream centric, like with the meetups and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of streamers go because a lot of gamers go. Streaming is a part of gaming, but there were no panels that I saw about streaming. which in the past I have gone to like streaming panels that were very educational. But just there was just a I don't know. I don't know if they weren't accepting like streaming, education content this year, or there just wasn't anybody attending that held a how to stream panel.
Yeah, not enough clout to siphon, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
so it seems like they scaled it down. That's. I wonder. Do you know anything about last year's PAX South?
Mm-mm. I don't. I'm sorry.
Probably some
I
like
wish I did.
metrics that they have
Yeah.
that made them scale it back a little bit. That's a little weird. I don't know.
I hope it's not going away. I heard like, oh, PAX is dying or whatever, but um I don't think it's dead. It's just yeah, it's just smaller in scale. It's always been the smallest PAX. It's the newest PAX. It's only 5 years old. So as there's bigger releases, as maybe streaming the bubble inflates again as it does, it uh maybe PAX will grow in size again.
It's definitely reflective of the price too. It was
It
what,
is.
like $80 to go for 3 days?
Yeah, it's inexpensive for a 3-day. It was around $80, $85. So really affordable to go to a PAX. I was shocked at the price of PAX East. I could not believe how much it was. It was like $225. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. For 4 days.
Yeah.
That is nuts. 1 day of PAX East is like 90% of the price of a full weekend at PAX South.
I'm sure you get what you pay for.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
had a great time at PAX. I would recommend you go to any of the PAXs. I've only attended PAX South, but I've gone several times and I always have a great time. Um, I don't know. I would recommend going with friends and going to all the meetups that you can and participating in everything you can. It's doable to do everything just because of the size of the convention.
Yeah. So it's like a smaller, like more tight knit convention, primarily focused on like pop culture and video games, right?
Yeah, and there's tournaments like I signed up for a Luigi's Mansion 3 tournament.
What?
Uh forgot my Switch, so did not participate. So unfortunately, I can't report back how that went. But I tried to do a Luigi's Mansion 3 tournament, but there was like a Tetris 99. You could then I went with some friends and we rented a Wii U and played Smash for a little while. There's so much you can do. It's a good time.
That's dope.
Hmm.
How much was it to rent? Like $20?
No, it's included. You just hand over your badge, and then when you're done, you get your badge back.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot to do at PAX. And even though the expo, floor would close every day at say like 6, there was still the show. So thus like where you could go do console free play, like I just explained, or you could play tabletop, things like that, until midnight, I believe. So it was real gamer hours. They know what they're doing. I love PAX.
Yeah, that seems like obviously the everybody's well, most people have been to a show before, right? Like the expo part of it. But I
Hmm.
think the real fun is like going to those little free play hours because you get to play with people next to you, which
Yeah.
is dope. Like maybe it's just me, but sometimes being a lonely gamer boy in my room is not fun.
Yeah, and everyone else is just like you, really introverted. Like, and there's lots of places to play different types of video games. Like, they had something called a handheld lounge, which I call the cuddle corner because it's just a bunch of pillows thrown on the ground and people just lay on them. But everyone was playing, their DS or Switch or something. You could rent Switch games right next to there. So it really does foster like, hey, come and chill and be social and game with us.
And I would do that so fast and play Pokemon with people.
I'm
Give
embarrassed to
everybody.
say too, I finally figured out the pin trading this year. It's pretty cool what they do. They have lots of stations all over the convention. So if you buy pins, then you can just go up and trade, any Penny Arcade pins. And pins are at every booth. So you can amass quite a collection of exactly what you want. They know how to make the nerds happy. It's like, yeah, buy a set of pins, but if you don't like one of them, here's a really easy way to trade them at all these stations around the convention. I was like, oh my gosh, it's been going on for years, and I just figured it out this year.
Wow. Cool.
I thought you had to like you had to find people and trade with them. No, 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 no. They have stations where you trade.
That's dope. Um, it could get convoluted when you put like people to trade with.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's like take a pin, leave a pin, but they have somebody making sure that you leave pins because you're paying $10 to $20 for these nice enamel pins.
wow. How many do you get in a set? 6?
Well, you could buy like a pack of 3, so it'd be like 3 Link's Awakening different enamel pins or all sorts of things. They had like a planet, an astrology like set, just so you would like want to complete some sets.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
So video games.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the 411. What were your favorites? What did you play? What are you most excited for?
There were some really cute Sims. Normally, the indie row is full of cute pixel platformers, but there was more than that this year. I was so happy to see some garden Sims and even like an ocean exploration Sim. There's one where you play a little gardener for these. They're called voxelotls. They're like axolotls, which are really cute sea creatures. So there's some really like niche, cute things. I liked it.
Yeah.
The
Did it remind
moving,
you of Mythic Ocean?
it did, yeah. Like there was a game called Beyond Blue that reminded me of Mythic Ocean a lot. It was nice to see Mythic Ocean there at PAX, by the way. They're so nice. But Beyond Blue was this exploration sim where you would go around scanning different things like whales and dolphins and just a really realistic, some sort of ocean game. I wanted to know more. I saw the demo.
Nice. Did you talk to any devs or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Beyond Blue dev was really nice. I guess it's their PR company. It was named Eline Media, but he was so friendly when I mentioned that I like streaming, that I had streamed a game called Mythic Ocean, which reminded me of his game Beyond Blue. And so it was nice. Everyone was really friendly as I've always encountered at PAX, just devs really eager to speak to streamers and content creators or even just fans of the game. It's a great environment if you're an indie game fan.
Yeah, I feel like indie game developers are a little bit more receptive to like cons
Mm-hmm.
because you could get like a behind the scenes type of response from someone
Mm-hmm.
that's actually worked on the game versus having like a talking head that's just going to tell you XYZ from a piece of paper they memorized.
Right. Yeah, it was, or even for the game to have a PR person there to talk about the game. So, like a point of contact um, for communications with fans and the community, as opposed to maybe having one of the devs just handle it. It's it's nice. They're like equipped and ready. They understand like, oh, people are interested in your game. Some people might request keys. Here's how you work with them.
Yeah. That's one aspect too, but also a lot of people want to know like the ins and outs of like how the game's going to be released, where it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be released on is now important, like really important. The price, release date and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
So the
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there was one platform that caught my eye, and also my friends. It's called Artful Escape, and I really recommend. Like of all the games that I mentioned, look into this one. It looks really cool.
Describe it.
Beautiful art.
What kind of art? Like realistic art?
It looks like a painting almost.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not a pixel platformer. It's like yes, it's a platformer, but um, the art is really different. very popular.
Hmm. So would you say it's very similar to Hollow Knight's art style?
Mm, yeah, maybe. Except Hollow Knight was really dark, full of despair. You were in uh this like mound of dirt called the Hollow Nest underground, but this is a lot more light and bright colors. So
Hmm.
caught my eye.
Interesting.
Hmm.
One thing that you mentioned, which really like piqued my interest, right? Uh, Big tabletop presence.
Hmm.
Has that has that been the case for previous years? Because I know you've gone a couple of times already.
I think tabletop, well, the vendors had more of a presence. Like there were so many places to buy dice and dice trays and dice towers and oh my gosh, like game mats, any D&D tabletop accessories. So many vendors like that. Which was cool. So there was an addition of to the marketplace. But I think I spent more time in the tabletop row because there was no AAA games there. You know, there were no like peripheral, like I mentioned earlier, like Razer or HyperX or something where it would catch my attention. So I spent more time in the tabletop row. Like I played actually on the floor, played Cyanide and and Happiness. Their new game is called Trial by Trolley. That was really fun. I recommend you buy it. It's fun to play, and it just came out. It's like Choking Hazard. I don't know if anyone's ever played their games, but very fun, very irreverent and vulgar
Hmm.
and violent.
Hmm. My interest is piqued.
There was
So,
even a vendor that I listened to their whole pitch. They were called Gooey Cube, and they said they were a marketing company that half the day they spend their time as a marketing company, and the other half they spend making D&D campaigns. And they print all their own materials, and they make it really easy to be a DM. Like I really listened to everything this salesman was trying to pitch me on, except it was expensive. Like it sounded really great. Like here's a pamphlet on how to be a DM. Um, I was like, just step one, find friends, right? Like, but it was $115 for just the first chapter, like not even all the materials, you would need to complete a full campaign. So I was like, "Ooh, good luck. This sounds and looks really cool, but Jesus Christ, that's expensive."
okay, so I have a couple questions. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right?
Hmm.
So typically one chapter, um, how long would that take you? Let's just say you meet every week, once a
I
week.
think he said 3 levels. I could be wrong though, but he gave me a really long pitch. Um, so I don't remember everything.
All right. So like in my mind, I'm looking at there. I have another question too. 5e compatible. What does that mean?
Hmm. That's the version of D&D that will be played.
Okay. I
There's
thought
I've heard people talk about other versions. So,
I
but
thought
5e is the most common.
okay. I thought in my mind it was like some computer program where you could like do it,
No.
but man, I was completely off base. Okay,
Yeah.
so from what you've told me from tabletop so far, right?
Mhm.
Is you have a campaign, and I don't think you have materials other than like what um the what are they called, DMs
Mhm.
have, right? So they probably have like a stat sheet or something, and they're
Mhm.
tallying certain stats or whatever and events. But there's no like tangible like maps unless you make them, right?
Right. So this would be they would provide that. Like they've created the world, they've created the maps. The first chapter just takes place on the first continent, but there were like 5 continents total. Um so it was a huge world to explore and spend a lot of money to explore. I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, so if you figure there's 5 continents and you assume that a chapter is going to be like $125 each, and you have
Mhm.
4 friends including yourself, that's pretty pricey depending on, you know, I don't know. I kind of want to like argue for it because they're going to provide materials with it. And from what I've seen,
Mhm.
it looks pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I mean, if I had unlimited money, then yeah, this is the way I would like step into DMing, I think, because they made it seem really easy. Like everything is prepared for you. But I had never seen a company like that. Maybe there are others, and this was just the first one that, I has literally grabbed me on the, at a show. So I don't know. I'm sure there's other people that sell D&D like campaigns, and like it was a curriculum. It was like a full curriculum, I would explain it as.
yeah, the World Guide. I'm not sure if this is separate from the campaigns, but I'm looking at their encyclopedia, volume one, and this is $25, I believe, for the digital,
Yeah.
35 for the physical, and $40 for both.
Well,
Is this just explaining like things in the world? No
yeah.
way. That's
That's like D&D books though, but I see those D&D books go on sale for $17. So like, oof, you know, this better be epic for these prices you're paying.
yeah, that's a little crazy.
That is from Amazon though. Those are Amazon bare bottom prices.
Yeah, a lot of things going on sale for Amazon. Some of it's hit or miss too.
So I didn't buy any dice, I didn't buy any D&D accessories. I just didn't need anything, but it was beautiful. Everything they had was so cool. I did buy an expansion for one of my games. I have Unstable Unicorns. They also make Llamas Unleashed, and they had a new game called Scram and Daring Contest, and so I bought one of their Rainbow Apocalypse expansions. It's it's really cute. It's like a bunch of like rainbow sprinkles ice creams that you add to the unicorn game. I like the way they plan the expansions. There's room in the box for it and everything. I felt like a real nerd buying an expansion for my game at PAX.
Okay, so anything else from tabletop of note that you want to mention?
No, just buy trial by trolley. It was really fun. I liked playing it. It was like 20 to 30 minutes for a game. Look at it at a board game bar near you.
Okay, here's my favorite topic:
Mm-hmm.
cosplay.
Oh, yeah. I posted pictures of cosplay on my Instagram and on my Twitter. I saw some awesome cosplay. PAX was like, although the focus of our convention isn't cosplay. And I'm like, there's so much cosplay that goes on there. It's awesome.
So, YouTube people know what your Twitter and your Instagram are. For the people that are listening on audio only, what are they?
Yeah, please give me a follow. My Twitter and Instagram are VVULVARINE.
That stands for Wolverine. I
It's
didn't know
like
that
Wolverine.
until like a year and a half ago. Blew my fucking mind. I was like, whoa.
Mbop was taken.
I've been reporting that account like every week for inactivity.
Sometimes I tweet at Mbop and I'm like, hey, Mbop, maybe can I have this Twitter? Thanks. I'll use it.
Okay, so favorite cosplays.
Oh man, there were so many awesome Nintendo cosplays. Yes, there was lots of Overwatch as usual, like lots of cute divas, and I didn't see any May. I'm disappointed. But so many cute Nintendo things like Wario gender bends and like bullet bills and piranha plants, all sorts of things. Really creative.
Oh, so they retired Bowsette finally.
Did not see a Bowsette, but I did see one of those like Toadette crown caps. I was like, ooh, they were selling it. I was like, that's really creative.
Huh. So a lot of Overwatch, huh?
Yeah, always. Lots of the different seasons skins. Like there was like a summer diva. She looked like she was going to the beach. And then one of my favorite ones, I don't think this was an in-game skin, but they do a diva with like a Playboy bunny like cross. So she's got like a corset and like bunny ears and a bunny tail. Real cute.
I think
Every
that's
year
in
I
the
see
game.
it. Okay.
Might be. Was it black and pink?
Uh, I think it's the one I saw was purple.
Okay, that's staying true to the source material. Docking points.
Getting creative.
Did you get any swag, like free shit?
I did from Tiny Build. They gave me a lanyard, but I already had that lanyard.
You
I
just
got
you're not like me. You just don't collect shit. Like I have a whole drawer of like lanyards and little knickknacks.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a lanyard this year. I, of course, took one of the free PAX lanyards. I liked them. They were these like thin gray ones, and I don't know. There wasn't a whole bunch of swag this year, just because of, I would say, the lack of like big vendors.
Yeah, they're the ones that really drive it, and that's a little disappointing to hear, to be honest.
I mean, I don't need more swag. Like, I don't need another like drawstring cinch sack. I have a dozen. Um, I just give the swag I get, I just give it away. It's like bottle openers and USB extenders. It's like, how many of those do you need?
About tree fitty.
Yeah, I got one pen this year. That made me happy. I was like, yeah, I'll take your one pen. Thank you.
I love pens. Pens are my favorite things to get.
Pens or pins?
Pens, like I'm gonna write something,
Mm.
an angry letter.
If your pin's cool, I want one.
Yes, that was it. That's our PAX recap.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Regarding the podcast, this is a special episode. If you check our Twitter, at lower bitrate, we'll let you know when we'll be back. It might be next week. It might be 2 weeks from now. We don't know. So follow the Twitter. Bye.
Bye.